What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to SoCal Exploring. My name is Scott, and you're watching your stop for all things theme park and attraction related. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing down below with those bell notifications on, and leave this video a like at the end if you enjoyed it. And welcome to anyone who just came from the Bride of Frankenstein's Lives video, or if you're watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre first, then make sure you check out the Bride of Frankenstein Lives video that is already up on my channel. That's right, everybody. Not only did Halloween Horror Nights announce Universal Monsters The Bride of Frankenstein Lives, but they also announced Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the same day, a maze that is coming to Halloween Horror Nights 2021. Roll the trailer. Now, that trailer isn't as strong as the Bride one. You know, we must admit it's not a cinematic masterpiece as the Bride one is, but the trailer for this one, I still like how they had an original twist to it instead of just playing, you know, flashes of Leatherface coming and then people getting scared in a haunted house. Anyways, Texas Chainsaw Massacre will be coming to Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Hollywood. And there was tons of speculation when it was on the speculation map on what it was going to be about. Is it going to be about the reboot? Is it going to be a mashup of all the films, etc., etc.? Well, we finally got our answer today. And I'm not going to dive too much into Orlando and Hollywood. I'm just going to kind of combine them both because it is the same exact storyline. The maze / house will be based on the classic 1974 film, one that we've already seen before at previous Halloween Horror Nights. The last time that we saw it in Hollywood was in 2012. I don't know what the last time we saw it was in Orlando, but I can say that 2012 was the last time we saw it in Hollywood. Am I excited for it? Yes. Do I wish it was something else? Yes, as well. I mean, I'm okay with it, but I wish it was something else. Inspired by the 1974 iconic slasher film, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Halloween Horror Nights mazes will depict a harrowing and intense experience as guests try to outrun the maniacal Leatherface and his unrelenting chainsaw. Guests will embark on a killer journey through a series of familiar scenes from the film. Nonetheless, I'm still excited for it because I like Leatherface a lot. I think that he is one of the most popular, in my eyes at least, or I guess I could say one of my most favorite horror slashers out there. So I'm definitely excited to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre back with Leatherface roaming around in that maze and scaring the living hell out of guests. John Murdy, creative director, has confirmed that it will be located in the Revenge of the Mummy extended queue. You can actually see the facade from the Starway being built up and the whole entire maze, the tent that it's under, being constructed right now if you just stand on the side of the Starway. As far as the location for Orlando goes, I believe it was speculated for a soundstage, which will be interesting to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre in a soundstage compared to in a parade building or a sprung tent. I'm curious as to why they picked Texas Chainsaw Massacre to put in a soundstage when they could have originally just built Beetlejuice in there compared to putting Beetlejuice in a parade show building, but you know, who knows? I'm not Universal Creative. So I'm really hoping that the Orlando version really delivers very well. I know that Hollywood can do a great version of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They've always had every time that they bring it back to the event. And I've never really been disappointed in a Texas Chainsaw maze, especially with the 2016 Blood Brothers. I think that was one of my favorites of all times, all the ones that they've done at the event. So I don't really see them letting us down with this maze either. Now, it is going to be, like I said, a budget cut year, so we could see a lot of the same scenes that they've used in previous mazes before. But let's just hope that there's non-stop action throughout the entire experience, and there's not just one scene and then a black wall, and then another scene and then a black wall. I hope that there's just continuous levels of detail throughout the entire maze. Especially it being the extended mummy queue, it's definitely a bigger location as far as length goes. Now, you could argue that it is a little bit tighter. However, we should be seeing tons of Leatherface characters. Like, they should be on every corner. Even if there is a black wall scene, we should see one in every single boo hole. The facade that's currently being constructed for Hollywood is going to be the Sawyer House. Looks like it's going to be a very scaled down version of the Sawyer House, but I'm sure with lighting and projection and whatnot, it's going to look great at night. I can't wait to smell the barbecue smell once again that they love to pump into these Texas Chainsaw mazes. That's going to be fun. We haven't had a lot of smells in the past like 2 years, I want to say, not including 2020, for Halloween Horror Nights, so I'm happy that they'll bring them back in Texas Chainsaw. But yeah, I guess there's really not much to say about this maze other than I'm excited that it's coming. Like I said that earlier, 1974 classic film, and that's about it. Murdy himself actually didn't go into too much detail regarding this maze because it's the same stuff that he's been talking about for years on years. But yeah, I don't know. I'm more excited for it in Orlando just because I want to see their take on the Texas Chainsaw series, since like I said, I know Hollywood can do a good job, so I'm more excited for Orlando. But I want to know if you guys agree with me down below. Are you okay with Texas Chainsaw Massacre returning to Halloween Horror Nights this year? And you're just kind of accepting of it, but you much would rather like to see something else? Or are you all for it, like 100%, like you wouldn't want anything else to replace it? Just let me know all your thoughts down below regarding Leatherface returning to Halloween Horror Nights once again. That's going to do it for today's video, or should I say today's second video, that is, of the Halloween Horror Nights announcements between The Bride of Frankenstein Lives and the classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre. My name is Scott, and you've been watching SoCal Exploring. Positivity is key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.